Secretary of Defense Mark Thomas Esper said, "The U.S. is firmly against China's destabilizing behavior in the Indo-Pacific region and won't stand by while one country reshapes the area, continuing a war of words between the superpowers. There is a disturbing pattern of aggressive conduct," Esper said at a press conference in Sydney on Sunday, speaking after annual strategy talks with his Australian counterparts. The U.S. won't stand by idly while any one nation attempts to reshape the region to its favor at the expense of others, and we know our allies and partners will not either, he said. China is weaponizing the global commons using predatory economics and debt for sovereignty deals, and promoting state-sponsored theft of other nations' intellectual property, Esper said. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo escalated his criticism of China during a visit to Australia on Sunday, drawing a direct link between what he called one-sided trade deals and China's ability to strengthen its military. Mike Pompeo, speaking in the commercial capital Sydney, said, "We were asleep at the switch as China began to steal data, launch military exercises in the disputed South China Sea, and saddle other countries with debt to increase its influence." Pompeo, in the press briefing with Australian Foreign Affairs Minister Marise Payne and Defence Minister Linda Reynolds, said the US and Australia were both concerned about China's militarization of their man-made islands in the South China Sea, and we're both keeping an eye on investment that mires our friends in debt and corruption. Vietnam and the Philippines have accused China of becoming more aggressive in asserting its claim to vast swaths of the South China Sea, a move the U.S. had termed bullying behavior. China said last month that the situation in the South China Sea was generally stable and improving as regional countries are properly managing risks and differences. Pompeo on Sunday said Australia independently and courageously raised concerns about China's ambitions even before we caught on. Australia's moves irked the government in Beijing. Chinese ports have delayed imports of Australian coal, while the Global Times, a mouthpiece for the Communist Party of China, said the re-election of Morrison's government will continue current poor relations. The U.S. and its allies have stepped up joint exercises in the South China Sea and elsewhere in the region in a bid to counter Chinese power projection. Mr. Pompeo said the rise of China was ushering in a new era in the century-old United States-Australia alliance, but he said both countries had jointly met such major challenges in the past. "It took many years for us to jointly push back against the Soviet Union, a long time to develop systems that prevent terror campaigns throughout the world," he said. "Neither of our two countries have ever stepped away from responsibilities, even if those responsibilities required years and years of hard work and determined effort." Mr. Pompeo said the U.S. was a Pacific nation and it was here to stay. "I want Australians to know they can always rely on the United States of America," he said.